Hey everybody, how y'all doing this morning? I hope y'all are well. Did y'all have a good day yesterday? I did not vlog, so I did not check in to see how everybody was doing, how everybody's week has been going. Did you have anything exciting happen for you? Did you learn anything new so far this week? If you did, why don't you share it with the rest of us? Let us share your excitement, help to keep you encouraged. And if you didn't learn anything or have anything exciting happen this week, we want to know that too, so that we can encourage you. So hopefully your week will wrap up more positively and more exciting going into the weekend. Maybe you'll have big plans. For me, we have the start of some activities going on. This year is my 30-year class reunion. The reunion has already basically happened. They went a little resort trip. I didn't go because the timing wasn't right for me and my family. I really wanted to go, but I didn't go. I have been going to the activities that we've been having so far, before and now, soon to be after the trip. We had a picnic and some other things going on, and so y'all see how bright this light is. This is what I'm talking about. This is ridiculous. I'm just gonna leave it because I need y'all to see just how crazy it is trying to drive and people coming all up on your bumper with the lights beaming so bright. But anyway, yeah, so coming up this weekend, there is a block party that is being hosted by one of, he didn't graduate with us, but he is definitely an alum. And I believe the proceeds is going to benefit the school. So that's going to happen on Saturday. Next Saturday, I'm so excited because we have our homecoming game, and the alum has been invited to walk the field, and that is just, I've never done that before, so that's going to be great. And everything is really going to start off in the morning because we're going to be we're going to have breakfast with the students, and there's going to be something else in between. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But we'll have breakfast with the students, and then something else is going to happen, and then we'll have tailgating at the game, and we're going to walk the field, and then after the game, we're going to have we're going to meet at a ranch for a party. So Saturday is going to be a very, very, very busy day for the class of '87. Whoop whoop, go Marlins! So I'm excited. I know y'all can't really see me, but we've talked about this before, so it's no big deal. But you can, as long as you can hear my voice and listen to what I'm saying. So yeah, this is great. This has been a great year. There's been some interesting things to happen. There's been some, good things to happen. There's been some things that not so good. I wouldn't say bad. They just, weren't as good, or were not good the way that we normally would like them to be. But they have not overtaken my year. This year was supposed to be a year of just really doing me and figuring out some things for myself, my path, my journey, what it is that I want to do in different areas of my life. And I'm just very excited. So it is definitely winding up. We are in the month of October. We have 2 more months after, this month obviously left in the year. We'll be celebrating. My husband and I have been together for 28 years, but we're celebrating our 28th wedding anniversary this year. And it's just been a lot going on. My grandbabies are healthy. my grandson, him is a big boy. Yes. He started kindergarten, first grade. Oh, I'm such a bad yeah. I can't even remember, because I don't think he did pre-K. I think he was gonna do pre-K. So I think he's in the first grade this year. He's 6, and my granddaughter, it turned 3. And yeah, so anyway, families just kind of doing their own thing and moving along, and life has been grand. My husband and I have been empty nesting, and we just have a lot of things in the works over the next couple of years. We have a goal, because 2019 we'll be married for 30 years, and so we have some things that we want to try to have done before then, by then. And so if we got any newlyweds in the house, make a comment below letting us know that you just recently got married. I definitely want to encourage you, because marriage within itself is a job. It is not something to be taken lightly. It is definitely not something to take for granted. I think that some people feel like, once you get past the honeymoon phase, where, it's not always about hugging and kissing and, making love and, everything being wonderful, real life sets in. And it's not to say that you can't still be happy, but, you're not going to always agree on things. You're not going to always understand each other's point of view. You're not going to always know how to say the things that you need to say. And even the best of communicators stumble sometimes, because when you love somebody, I know people always talk about keeping it real, and I can say anything, and I'm just one of the kind of people that just, but you know what? You can't just say anything, because when you love somebody, it's not always about keeping it real and just being, blunt or whatever. Sometimes it's about understanding the fact that you need to keep it real in love. There are things that my husband and I have gone through, and I feel because I have areas where I want to improve, but I also want him to improve and move forward with me. And I know that there's some areas that he struggles in, and he's aware of that. But sometimes, because we might get discouraged, we might become complacent, we might get a little off track, because we're not really sure exactly what it is that we need to do to get from point A to point B. And so, we're just kind of stuck. And, I have heard, some people say, oh, he needs to get off his butt and do this and do that and blah, 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 blah. And for some people, it's not that easy. For some people, you may have this grandiose plan in your head about what it is that you want to do, but you may not have any idea how to get started. You may not even have any idea of who to contact to help you figure out how to get started. And although you can Google everything under the sun, sometimes that still doesn't help. So, as a wife, it is our job to be the nurturer, to be the person who brings the love, who, and I know it's not always easy, especially, for women of color. We are labeled as the person, we the woman, we the sister girl with the attitude, and everything is everything. Everybody is not like that, and if you, truly love the person that you're with, times will get hard, regardless of what you think in your life. Money is not always going to be right. Attitudes are not always going to be right. Health is not always going to be right. You're going to face some challenges. It is just a part of life. And the thing of it is, the way that you look at it is that you're going to face those challenges whether you're with your spouse or not. That's just because as we begin to mature in age, our bodies don't quite function the way that we want them to. Where you might be putting in a bunch of overtime and all that kind of stuff to have the things that you want. You may not be, that opportunity may not be there anymore at some point, or it may be limited. And you may not be physically able to or physically wanting to make that kind of commitment So, there are so many different factors that can play into how our lives change. And what you have to consider is that when you become a mate, a a husband, a wife, or whatever, you have to consider the fact that it's not just about you anymore. Whereas before, all you had to be concerned about was what you wanted. Life is about, especially when you're in a relationship, is about give and take. And, you can't always be the person taken. You have to be a person who is capable of, giving something, regardless of how small you feel it is, or how small the person feels it is. So, you newlyweds, I wish you all the best. I definitely will be thinking about you if we have any that make any comments below. But I want you to stay encouraged, because, I know people say, and I'm not trying to be cliche, but people say, communication is the key. Communication is the key. You can communicate all day long, but your version of communication has to match the version that your mate has, because there are times that you feel like you're being clear about what your needs are, and the other person is not receiving it that way. So you have to make sure that you take your time to explain what it is that you need, how much you need, how often you need it, what you're willing to reciprocate. It has to be, may not necessarily be equal, but it has to definitely be mutual. So anyway, I done made it to work, but I just wanted to drop in. I don't know how I got on the topic of I'm not trying to be a counselor. It's just that you learn a lot in 28 years. You struggle with your relationship, from an intimate standpoint. You're not supposed to be platonic with your husband, because that's not the kind of relationship it is, but you definitely want to be friends. I know some people say, well, your spouse is supposed to be your best friend and things like that, and I think it's relative. I think it depends on your how the relationship started, where you're trying to go. That may not always be the case. He may be your very close friend, but he's also your husband. So there will be times where, being in a relationship, being in a marriage, you want to feel like your mate is your best friend. But if you're struggling in certain areas like communication, things like that, that's a very difficult thing to a difficult thing to experience, because you want to be able to talk to your best friend. So you just want to make sure that that you are open, that you are as honest as possible without being rude, making sure that you're being considerate of the other person's feelings. Before you open your mouth to say anything to your husband or your wife, think about how, if it was flipped and this conversation needed to be had with you because of whatever was going on, how would you want that information communicated to you? Would you want to come at that person hard and unwavering, and just, you're not being flexible, you're not being considerate or understanding? Think about how you want somebody to communicate with you before you open your mouth, and then take the time to try to get the words together so that you can communicate in love to your spouse. And it's not easy. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not easy, because sometimes in the heat of the moment, you just want to boom, So I've learned over time, and I'm not 100%, but I've learned over time that sometimes I need to just clamp it down, walk away from the situation, even if I have to say, look, I'm not happy right now, and I need to make sure that excuse me, that I get my thoughts together, and I know exactly what it is that I want you to hear me say. And my husband is very laid back and things like that, so it's easy for him to just be like, okay, whatever. But everybody's not like that. So if you're in a situation where both of y'all are hotheads, that is definitely something that you're going to have to work on. You're going to have to practice, and you're going to have to make sure that you don't open your mouth and say anything to be hurtful, that you are saying it even if it's critical, or if it's something that's supposed to be constructive, that you're taking your time to say it that way is perceived or is received that way. That you're not saying things and the other person feel like you're just saying it to be mean and to be hurtful. So anyway, I'm gonna chit chat with you all tomorrow. Oh Lord, I ain't even started the day. I'm gonna chit chat with you all later on when I get off of work. I did post a video about the story time of how I got my license, and I hope that y'all checked out that video. If you did check out the video, make sure that you leave me a comment and let me know when you got your license and what that experience was like. Make sure you give me a thumbs up for that video as well. Share it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. For the most part, I've been kind of hitting and missing, I think probably this week, but usually I post something every single day, and I usually bank videos and release them. That way you have something every single day. And I do the vlogs, and I haven't done a challenge since we did the extreme game night with my family, but keep your eye out. You never know what's coming. Anyway, we'll chit chat with you all a little later on. Talk to you later. Bye.